is too loud. This is some banger copyright-free music. Thanks, Reddit. I also hate Reddit. Fuck Reddit. Hold on. I gotta get a noise gate or something. I think for now I just move it further away. Also, it needs to be louder. It's fine. No, I don't want to mess with my gain. Okay, this music is like still too loud. Not 20, oh my god. Why am I, no, wrong way. I just need to turn it. Can I? No, I can't really. Is it gonna autoplay or no? No. Am I just gonna click every single one? This is so loud. It's loud for me too. Okay, this one's not good. So as you can see by the stream title, yeah, I have began purchasing. I gotta go close the door. Hold on. We got the shower hair going on. It is crazy. It's so long. I didn't realize how long it was. I should probably still be talking so it can hear how loud it is. Shower hair going on. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn. I did turn it up, but it's not. What's my levels hitting? It could be a little higher. Just a touch. But I don't know, I don't wanna. I feel like I should just raise this. Oh my god. Like this. And it's still gonna be too quiet. Not cars and bids. So yeah, I think I am good. I think I'm getting a car. Yay. Okay, what are there any I'll just go like this. It's fine. I don't know why it still like says it's up. Maybe it's not. This is the one, right? Yeah. So what if I go like this? If I oh yeah, okay, it says purchase in progress. Here, I'll just do this, because you can't see any private information if it's not even, it's a private tab. Think about that. So here, oh god. HDR is going off. Wow, look at that, it looks so much better. So yes, I know this music fucking sucks. I do this every time. This guy's got a Mercedes. No. Are these all... Whatever, I don't care. Can I like shuffle? Is that possible? I don't know. It's so loud. Whatever. This is so bad. Dude, I wish I didn't hate night mode. Whatever. Dude, I can't. It's so bad. Fucking play the first one again. Thanks. First model year. ND1, baby. Yeah. It's in the probably the best color. And I think this is quite a good price for, like, I was looking. Hold on, let's do it right now. Let's go on. Let's go on Auto Tempest and then just search and we're just gonna go anywhere. Okay. Yeah, so this is countrywide. And like, look, this guy wants more miles. Well, that's an RF. He wants more miles. What are these auctions? 400 horsepower? Oh, it's a 2.4. So let's just go manual, minimum year. These are all auctions. Albuquerque. Like, this is the same price. This one actually I did look at. This one's super close. But it's got more miles. I mean, it's got Olin's on it, which is really nice. And this crazy window tint. But you know, I don't know. I just didn't go for that one. It had more miles, and yeah. This one was this is actually a good deal, I think. But it's still not. I don't know. I didn't. The hell was that? I didn't want an RF, but this is an ND2 RF, so that's a pretty good deal. But it's not what I wanted, and it's way more miles, double the miles. And like, what else? This is well, that's an ND2, that's why expensive. That's a pretty good deal, but this one's in Wisconsin, and there's no pictures. These are just all stock pictures. I hate that. Like, I hate that. Dog, you can't. How long, does it say how long this has been up? Whatever, I don't care. So like, that's a good deal, but it's also a sport, and also there's no pictures of it. That's a good deal. But once again, it's in New York, and there's no pictures. So a lot of these, it was like, distance was the thing, obviously. Oh my god, I hate all of these. Bro, I'm just gonna put on NCS. Is this what my life has come to? Fucking NCS. Popular. I would rather have this on than... Okay. Way more expensive, way more expensive, way more expensive, way more expensive, way more expensive. Double the miles for less, kind of, I don't know. A little more miles, a little bit less, so it's not that, but it's a sport. So like, Carvana actually had the deal, you know? Just that happens. I feel like, I don't know. Like, that's a good deal. These are all not bad. But also, I think that this is just better. 22. It's like really low miles. That's a pretty good deal. What's wrong with it? I guarantee this has an accident. And look at those reviews. And it's also in Pennsylvania. So yeah, I mean, like, looking through these, I mean, there definitely are equal value ones around. But, they're far. There was that one. There was this one. This was a good deal. But I didn't want to... It is actually... I didn't even realize it was a sport. So that is something. I didn't realize it was a sport. I thought it was a club or something. But really low miles. And it's an 92. But it's in Chicago. And I fucking hate Chicago. It wouldn't be a big deal. You just fly to Chicago and then take a 20-minute Uber to this, and it wouldn't have been that bad. But I didn't want to deal with it. It was going to be a lot. It was going to be very easy to just do it through Carvana. So yeah, well, hold on. Let me go. Can I go to KBB? KBB. Matsuda Roadster 38 Grand Touring. Manual. I think the Grand Tourings, there wasn't really... Whatever. What do you think? Very good or... very good or good. Very, very good, probably. It's got 38,000 miles. The only thing is that, goddamn, bro, they did not do a great job. Actually, maybe they washed it for this picture, but not the other ones. Because these other pictures of the inside do not look. I love this. It's so good, man. These interiors are so nice. Even though it's almost 10 years old. I mean, this car was built in 2015. Private party. I mean, it says 17 to 20. Like 19. But I don't see any. And also, you know how it be. I'm just gonna go down the list. Glitch hop. These all suck. I just X'd out the whole tab. Oh my god. Can I look up like NCS best songs? There's gotta be a playlist. NCS best study music. Except I don't trust this. Whatever. But yeah. I mean, look at this interior, man. It looks so good. It's so simplistic. It's so elegant. You know, you got the manual handbrake. Everything's in leather. You got the heated seats. You got the little nav screen. You got the nice red seals, window seals, whatever you want to call them. The manual handbrake, everything's in leather. And think about this one. Boom. Comes with the weather text. Okay. Very important. I don't know why it just looks like they got out of a rainstorm or something. I don't know. See, in these pictures, it looks filthy. Boom. Comes with the weather text. Blind spot monitoring. So high tech. Active lane keep. Oh yeah. Wait. What's the difference between lane keep assistance and lane departure warning? I thought what did I just do? Oh, that's weird. I did not know that you could. Okay. Show me. So loud.
The system is. The camera identifies the road markings, while radar sensors monitor the traffic around the car.
Yep.
Traffic behind the vehicle is monitored by a radar sensor in order to warn of overtaking traffic. The long-range radar is directed at oncoming traffic. The short-range radar keeps a lookout when the vehicle changes lanes. If the radar system reports that the adjacent lane is occupied, ESP initiates a one-sided braking intervention that can move the vehicle out of the danger zone. At speeds above 30 kilometers per hour, the active blind spot assist offers additional protection. The radar sensors of the electronic blind spot check recognize when cars or motorcycles move into the critical area.
I don't trust. I mean, I'll see, obviously. You know, there's only one way to find out how good it is. But I don't trust, whatever it's called, blind spot monitoring. Half the time, and on you know, like you get a rental car or something, or you're in someone else's car that has it, and you're just sort of like watching it work. It never seems like it's 100%, you know what I'm saying? It never seems like it's perfect or anything like that. Which at that point, if it's not perfect, then what's the point, you know? Whoops. The last. I don't understand though. I didn't think that these had any. I knew it had blind spot, and it'll like beep at you if you're veering out of your lane, but I didn't think it had the anything that actually MX5. Can you turn? Oh, whatever. Why are you gonna? Oh, scary. Scary yellow light. Scary. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so this is the blind spot. That's the lane keep assist. How did they get dirt up here? And that's traction control, and then that's I guess to set your tire pressure monitors. This is like an official. Dude, I'm literally just about to play whatever fucking music I want. I want to so bad. Just have this on repeat. And it's in the Soul Crystal Red Metallic. The best miata color. I don't know spell crystal. I don't know spell metallic either. Yeah, they updated it to where I feel like it reflects the name a little bit better. Like, look at this. This is like crimson, you know? Is the best word to describe it. Like crimson. This I feel like just looks more mostly red. You still kind of get some of it, like you can kind of see it in the pictures. But yeah, they updated it to make it a bit more crimson-y, a bit more. It looks so good though. I mean, even on. It's so good. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Yeah, it still looks pretty good. You know what I didn't see a single time Maybe they're just not in this. I don't know. I didn't see a single BBS Recaro package. Rembo. Maybe I am crazy. When I was looking around, I didn't see any. Ow. Automatic. I'm telling you, man, anyone who buys an automatic Miata should just be never forgiven. It's time. Topher just does like a million Miata reviews. (2018) 2021. The vlog. There's a Miata video every month. The GTS. These are not in order. What the hell? I know he has a Miata video before to like 2018. God, 8 years ago. I just can't believe that they're so old now, you know? Okay, this search function, useless by the way. It's literally useless. Like, why is it even... oh my god, 2021, 2020, 2018, E85, 2017...
Okay, guys, we are in a 2017.
Okay, I'm losing my mind, dude. There has to be. Okay, you go back to like 2016. It's gonna take so long. Oh my god. I'm finding a different one. NDP POV. Oh yeah. So I found out that my HHR is in fact not destroyed. It is an axle. So that's good. I will just get the axle fixed for like $500. I don't know how much it's gonna be. Is there a difference in... I keep spelling axle wrong. Is there any... Oh my god. Dude, this is the problem. It's like... Why? Every time, man. I don't understand how this car is from 2008 and all the parts are gone. They're gone. It's ridiculous. it's not even funny. It's like, $50. I don't know. Manual transmission. Like seriously, it was like that with the ball joints. The ball joints are different, and they don't exist anymore. It's like, what? And it's so stupid because I still have it bookmarked, because here's the ball joint, but all of the control arms have them pressed in. They're all pressed in and not replaceable. You're supposed to just get rid of the whole control arm and get a new one. But those went out of production a long time ago. Actually, not a long time ago. It was right before I bought the car and had this problem. So you have to buy an aftermarket control arm that just so happens to also have a bolts on the ball joint instead of it being pressed in, and then you can take off that ball joint and put this specific slightly larger ball joint in. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah, these are 20.5. The other ones are like 19.5 or something, or 19 millimeters. Whatever. So, I mean, they'll probably charge me like $70 for the axle, and then they'll probably charge me, I don't know, like $300 for the labor. It shouldn't be over like 2 hours, right? 2.5 maybe. Theoretically. Female POV. A big mistake nearly. I can't wait to crash this thing. I can't wait to get in a horrible crash. Okay. A classic car. Curing Auto. I want to watch the OG Savage Geese video. God, how is Savage Geese so good? Man, even back in 2015, it feels like they've been on that grind for so long, you know? That's what it really feels like.
This is the long-awaited 2016 Mazda MX-5.
It's an AP.
It's about the only simple, affordable driver's car left on the planet.
You don't want to make this bigger. Grr, grr. This is so incredibly downscaled to 1080p. God damn, man. Even back then, they just had the fucking best B-roll. Crazy. See, all you gotta do is get the gimbal out, lock the focus, boom. Boom. Ow. I just have to finalize my loan. God, I love the engineering behind this stuff too, man. It's so good.
The Club Edition, no, it does not have a laser light show. It does not have dance music, and it certainly does not have a mini bar in the trunk. But what you do get is forged BBS wheels,
No, you
Bridgestone
don't.
tires, and Brembo brakes in the front. Now, of course, there's these front and rear splitters and this black spoiler, but that's really not the big attraction here. This is exactly what you want. This is a stripped-down version to take care of autocross and track. In terms of the exterior of this vehicle, you just don't realize how compact and small it is until you get right on top of it. And this is just kind of a view to put it in perspective. This almost takes up one parking spot or 1.5 parking spots parked.
That's funny.
lengthwise.
It actually looks
When you put this in
way
your
bigger
garage,
than it
you
is
can
because he's
almost fit
standing
3 of
closer to the
these in
camera.
your standard 2-car garage. It's just very tiny, almost toy-like. But that's also part of the charm here. Now, Scott joked around and said, well, this is kind of the little league of sports cars, right? Because of its stature, its power output. But when you look at this, there's so much functionality going on here.
Why is he holding his phone like
aerodynamic
that?
Purpose in terms of underbody airflow, overbody airflow, in terms of reducing drag, reducing lift. There's a lot going on here from the exterior, aside from just trying to make it bold looking. One thing that Mazda's done extremely well with all of their cars is just kind of unifying their design, interior and exterior. You get along the side, front, and back, and especially the interior of most Mazdas, you can tell exactly what it is. And that's really hard to do, and it's hard to do in a good way that most people like, especially the mainstream public. When you come around the front and the back of this new MX-5, the first thing you think is, wow,
I mean,
this
he's
looks
right.
aggressive,
It's
especially compared
just-
to any other Miata that's ever been
It,
done. While it's aggressive, I don't think
even
it's
this
all that
Miata
different.
from or
Yes,
Mazda
it's
from almost 10
uniquely
years
Mazda,
ago,
but yes, it's uniquely
it
everything
almost
else. The standard hexagonal grille. The rear end
looks
is a mix between
same as all their new
BMW
cars.
and Jaguar. I think they went safe here. And not only safe, I think they went a little bit modular. And when I say that, it looks like this was designed around being easily refreshable. When you
Which
come
is
to the
funny
back
'cause
of
they
the
didn't
Miata, this
tou-
is by
they
far
haven't
the most
touched it
feminine
at
part of this
all.
car. It's just so round, it loses a lot of the muscularity. One of the weird things about this Miata
Why
is
does-
the front
okay.
release will-
why does every single car in these reviews, in any channel, that's always registered in Michigan? Every single one. And it's not like, okay, American cars, that makes sense, you know, the you know, big three.
location.
But
Assuming
this
you
is
don't
not,
have the
this is
remote
built in Japan. This is built in Hiroshima.
and you usually have to go under the bumper to release it, which, you know, I complained about the Mazda 3's trunk release, but this is even more ridiculous.
Anything for styling. Man, I'm so glad they got rid of Turbowski. I'm sorry, he just was like,
So what we have here,
he was not really
is
contributing that much to the
Mazda
channel.
MX-5 Club Edition.
He would just kind of stand there.
It's a Miata, yes. What do you think about this car when you get underneath it?
High tech.
Driving aside, right?
It's always like, oh, so, you know, they did this and this and this. Scott, what do you think about that, Scott? Oh, I think it's, yeah, that's really good. You know, you can really have a lot of fun in this. Thanks.
This is one of the most interesting underbodies of any car I think we've looked at.
Really?
And it shouldn't be.
Right. Yeah, it makes no sense. So up front, what we have here on the Club Edition.
Okay, to be fair, this was probably before every manufacturer started doing this. I'm so calibrated, my brain is so calibrated for every manufacturer does, you know, the underbody trays and whatever, they all cover everything up now.
The addition of the front splitter, which helps direct airflow. You have spats on the front, actually in front of the wheels, actually the whole front of the car to help direct airflow. And then you get to this aluminum panel, which is essentially a skid plate. You do have to remove this to get to the oil filter and you know, drain plug bolt. We have all aluminum for the suspension members. This is a true double wishbone suspension. Your lower and upper control arms are all aluminum. Your hub/knuckle is all aluminum. You have large Brembo brakes, which are completely track capable here. The concept is to be able to run a track day without having any brake fade. You're gonna have
Yeah, and that's the crazy stuff too, is that, like, dude, this thing is made out of, there's a lot of aluminum. It doesn't share a platform. It's its own thing. all aluminum. Like you said, knuckles, control arms, skid plates, cross members, true double wishbone, no McPherson strut,
Wealth
no
of pad
McPherson
options
strut
for this
multi-link
car,
rear.
probably more so than any other car. Bilstein dampers and retuned springs specifically for the Club Edition. This car has true camber adjustment, eccentric bolts built into the front and the rear of the control arm, and of course toe adjustment. But there is no caster adjustment on this car. You know, it's debatable whether that's completely necessary until you go to aftermarket suspension anyway. But I think it's just we were talking about yesterday with the Mustangs. You get under that car, that's supposed to be a sports car. I mean, honestly, with that type of power. And they put all that engineering under the hood, the trans, and then everything else is kind of like, let's just throw your skin.
This is a crazy hunch he's got going on here right now. Look at his curvature.
We have in the parts bin at the suspension.
But it's no different than the other American performance cars, excluding Corvettes and stuff like that.
Right. But that's a top tier type sports car.
But they're all the same. They're all rental cars.
Well, yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
True. I mean, there's just not a lot of, there's not the engineering that is here in those type other sports cars, and you just have to wonder why, especially in this price range. But I think the big thing with this car is Mazda has a huge stake in this. This is their kind of, honestly, their halo car. They don't really have anything else in terms of engineering. They've had so many years with spec Miata and racing that they've developed it, that this is what it is. It's just kind of a factory, almost motorsports race car for them. So it makes sense, but it's just strange that you don't see this from other manufacturers. So the next thing, we move towards the middle of the car with the
cross
transmission
member.
and the middle area here. So what have they done, Scott?
Changed everything. All new transmission. All lighter weight than the previous one.
The trans?
15 pounds lighter.
Wow. What about the case? Is there something you were talking about they did with that?
They use different thicknesses to strengthen it where it needs to be strengthened, and lighter where it doesn't need to be strengthened. Save weight.
What about you were talking about the smoothness of the gearbox?
Yeah, and amazingly smooth.
It's like he's always.
Usually transmissions have the
Is it in
grid
mark?
lines in them for strength.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
Something similar to that. It's also a 1-to-1 gear ratio in 6th gear, which is pretty crazy.
Why would they do that?
Give you closer gear ratios, everything else.
It's like, dude, okay. It's like, oh yeah, the 1-to-1 ratio in 6th. Okay, yeah, why would they do that? It's like a fucking preschool teacher. I hate it.
It's a little force on. You don't need overdrive.
True. And you can tell when you're shifting this thing. I mean, it's like you're flying through those gears. That's
and
part
then
of.
You look down, you're like, oh man, I'm only going 40 miles an hour. I'm in 8th gear.
Right, yeah.
8th gear.
Exactly. That's really the fun of driving this car. It gives you that sense of speed where there really is any
Yeah, you
speed.
can beat the hell out of this car and not go to jail.
Right. Yeah.
The GT, you'd probably end up jail if you drove it as hard as you could this car.
Right. Yep.
Or the hospital.
Oh yeah, of course. What about these actual
That's
panels?
all new aluminum too.
All this
I
bracing.
believe this one and this one is new, and then this, whatever you want to call that thing.
This is Mazda.
I forget the name of it.
That is Mazda's equivalent of the torque tube.
Torque tube.
Yeah. So they use this center monster aluminum brace that connects the transmission to the rear differential. And they do this in a way to avoid having to, well, not only to strengthen the drivetrain so you don't get this strange judder and it strengthens everything together, but they don't have to use crazy bushings in the back that will increase harshness and vibration. So this is kind of the structural brace to connect the whole car together. And they've been doing this for a while, but it's slightly improved
Yeah,
on this.
it's nothing new. Camaros had that, and I'm
Right.
sure countless other cars have done it too.
But they found a way here to lighten it. I mean, this is a really light structural beam with holes all along the aluminum to cut weight but keep
I
rigidity.
think this one, the aluminum's half as much as the other one was.
Okay. So the previous generation Miata had, what was it, 4 or 5 ball joints in the
I
rear?
think it was 4.
4? Okay.
20 balls.
The reason that Mazda had that in their previous model, and this is from their engineering, was it created a more direct feel in the rear. And they said that having the ball joints, that many in the back, reduced bump steer, and not only did it do that, but it actually improves steering feel. Like the actual steering feel is more direct.
Look at that
with the ball joint
multi-link.
setup. Now, the big thing really is the extensive use of aluminum everywhere. I mean, there is just more aluminum on here. Front, rear panels, everything is, focus has been weight reduction. I think that was the first thing years ago, before we even saw the launch or anything. You knew that Mazda's primary focus of this car was weight reduction. They wanted it to be lighter than pretty much even the first generation.
2400? I thought it was higher than that.
Right. So they maintained somehow to make this advanced in terms of suspension design for this price range, and pretty simple, which we don't see anymore. In the back, again, you were saying we have pretty much every adjustment here possible. You're already set up for camber, toe adjustment in the back. You're ready to go. You go get an alignment, and you head to the track, and you're done.
Now it's towed in all the time, and you get progressive towing as the suspension collapses. Well, the other one, I guess, was more towing out, and that's why it felt like the car
Was rotating all the time.
more
Like,
rear wheel steer feel.
okay, so now they've reduced the toe out effect, and now the rear end is going to toe in under load, especially, right? That was
It's more neutral.
more neutral.
And
So
the other one, you definitely, that car felt like it was rotating at 10 miles an hour.
Right.
You didn't have to drive it hard.
Okay. So that's something to note. If you're looking at this car, the rear end is going to behave a lot differently than the previous generation, because there is,
What's
it's a
weird
pretty
is that
good redesign
a lot of
in
people
terms
say
of
that
overall
this was kind of an oversteer monster.
dynamics, what they want.
It's redesigned, really.
I don't know.
There's a lot going on.
Only one way to find out.
And it's funny how small this car looks when you're standing next to it. 'Cause it
I
lit-
love
lit-
this engine bay, man.
really-
Hold on.
Yeah,
Get another
it's
shot.
really small. It's
Get
really
another,
low.
get another shot.
But this, for me,
Get another shot.
this
Yeah, get another shot. It's so good, man. It's like you open the hood of one of these things, and it just looks like this my 2002 Ford Focus? There's everything's there. Look at the fucking spark plugs. Look at it. You know how easy this is? This would be the easiest car to change spark plugs and coil packs on in my life. I actually did change spark plugs on an NA Miata once. And it was so easy. It was so incredibly easy. I had it done in fucking 4 minutes. And then you unscrew it, you get the torque wrench, screw them back, boom, done. On to the next one. So good.
is one of the biggest disappointments here.
What's the power on the 2.5?
The 2.5 is in the 180s.
And this is 155?
This is 155, and that's essentially what the 3 makes. Now, the only thing they've changed here from this motor in the Mazda 3 is what? Just a couple
the
things?
exhaust manifold and the intake.
Okay.
Just made it smaller.
Yeah,
Or
probably
more compact.
to fit it. The other thing that they did was this is specifically tuned for high octane fuel. So, obviously the regular 2-liter in the Mazda 3, it's for 87 octane or low octane fuel. So you can, you don't have to put premium. But this makes more power, and the power band changes if you're using premium fuel in here. So it is noticeable, especially with less weight. It always feels peppy, but it's not like, my God, you're never blown away when you're driving this thing.
Yeah, but again, that's not what they designed it for, which we all get.
Right.
They need to make a Type R model.
Yeah, this sound, we
Not
talked
the
about
Type
how
R.
you'd never really, 4-cylinder never seen it.
Okay, here we go. Here's the Miata owner's reaction to me getting a Miata. No way. Lord. You want to go help me pick up my Miata in your Miata? Do you want to go take your Miata so I can go pick up my Miata, and then we can drive our Miatas off?
Sounds good. But this
Miata.
sounds pretty decent for a 4-cylinder. It's about as good as a 4-cylinder can get for a street car. The other thing to note is I talked to 3 different service managers out in our area because we always talk about this in every video
Dude, I'm
with
gonna
direct injection.
destroy
Now
my
this
watch.
is
Oh yeah, I forgot it was direct
first
injection.
Miata with direct injection on it. And we know that intake valve maintenance is becoming pretty much nonsense on modern cars.
I cannot wait to dump like Techron or something in here. They do work. They do work. Between, you know, go watch the Chris Fix video. All you gotta do is yeah, all you gotta do, dump a whatever engine cleaner in there. It's not gonna help the valves, but you
It's
know.
become a real hassle and a pain in the ass. So Mazda is all direct injection now. So that's something else you're gonna have to deal with here. But I did call these service managers in 3 different higher volume dealerships. Well, the one out here is not high volume, but the ones in the Chicagoland area. I asked them specifically what they're having to do on the 2 and the 2.5 liter Mazdas, and they said it's almost a non-existent issue with these motors because they're using an air oil separator before the PCV valve, and it's actually eliminating a lot of that blow-by, and a lot of the carbon is not building up on the valves like the competitors' cars. Probably 7 years.
Yeah, it's an old,
So
old
this
engine.
is not new for them. This is, well, it's new for the Miata, but this motor out clearly is not new. So that's something that's really positive here because, you know, that would be a worry, especially if you're going to be running this car flat out on a track, and that's where you're going to get the most blow-by and all that, in terms of oil vapors getting back into that.
You just have to, come on, like, you know what I'm
But
saying?
it doesn't seem to be an issue. That's the point.
The music gets way too loud.
I've never been a MX-5.
Cartavana. I need socks. I'm dying. Yeah, it's 5:20 p.m.
Owner, but I was one of those people that stayed up to watch the live stream, the actual unveiling of the car online last year. I was pretty excited because it's honestly been about 10 years since we've had a new MX-5, so this is kind of a big deal. Now, being behind the wheel, the expectation level has been built up, and of course, the initial press is extremely positive. So let's start to drive this thing right through the turns and see how it does.
He's still doing it. A little bit of a shouldn't have downshifted there, buddy.
Let's take a look at the acceleration. The MX-5 Miata, the new 2-liter in this car, all direct injected, it only makes about 155 horsepower. But as me and Turbowski started to play around with this car a little bit, and we had the EcoBoost Mustang, we realized right away this is almost identical in terms of 0 to 60 times when you're just doing a street start. I mean, they are almost neck and neck. And that's a car that's, you know, well over 300 horsepower. So there's something to be said here about the weight of this vehicle and just, I mean, the overall tuning of this 2-liter. Now granted, this is kind of the Achilles heel for most enthusiasts that like power, is the Miata's always been down on that, and that's clearly, that's still the same problem with this car. But because of the weight, because of the way they've tuned this 2-liter, which is of course shared with other Mazdas, it doesn't feel like a total putter. It feels really quick. And the best thing about this car is you can go flat out pretty much in every turn, everywhere you go, without fear of absolutely losing your license, without getting in a total, just a mess of trouble. Because when you're going through the gears, you feel like you should be going 150 miles an hour, but the way that this thing feels like it's accelerating, but you look down and you're really only going about 55, 60 miles an hour. And for a street car, that is really awesome. Check this out. Now, if I would have done that in a higher horsepower car, I would have been probably well over 100 miles an hour by then. And there, I'm barely breaking the speed limit, and it feels like you just have such pace.
Hey, strangers.
And I have to say, I'm not kidding you.
So nimble, yeah.
You want to go flat out in this car all the time. And as much as I'm going to bag on the fact that they've recycled this 2-liter motor over and over again, 90% of this car's fun and appeal is the fact that you have something that is completely manageable in this car to do that with, to go flat out. If you had more power, it would make it more edgy, it would require more suspension complications, it would make it less drivable. And the biggest factor for me here is driving this car like a maniac. I am getting almost identical fuel economy to my Mazda 3. And I'm at 32.1 miles per gallon for this tank.
No turbo, baby.
That is just absolutely incredible. And when I'm not driving it like a maniac, I've seen as much as 36, 37 miles per gallon. And there's no doubt that you could probably pull almost 40 in here if you're on the highway. This car just handles so well, and one of the reasons is they've just kind of redone the rear suspension on this car. It's towing in on your turn now.
My wife hates this video. Yo.
And you just always get this sense of confidence.
So here was my impressions of driving this thing, like 5 minutes. I think in total I drove it for like 5 minutes. Drifted around a parking lot one time. The steering is just like so quick. I mean, of course, it's just like the whole, it's rear wheel drive and it's super light. It just felt like you turn the wheel, you're going exactly where you're going. And I think that was about it. That was my really only impression.
It doesn't feel
I didn't
like
get.
the back wants to step out on you all the time. And
I didn't get that much.
That's
of a
part of the reason why
impression.
you can just be foot to the floor in almost every turn. It's just so satisfying. The other thing too is reviewers have talked about how this car just tends to roll around a lot, and one of the reasons why Mazda has engineered roll into the suspension is,
I love roll.
and this is a quote from them, they tend to put more body roll in the Miata because most of the best roads in America, at least, have some of the worst conditions, or they're the worst maintained roads. So you want to go on a twisty road, a lot of times the pavement is in bad shape. Having that extra compliance in the chassis, having that extra body roll really helps to keep the car in line. It's not hopping and skipping all over the place, and it's more comfortable. So while there is roll here, it's engineered on purpose because this is a street car mostly, right? So when you get the car going, you feel the way that the car kind of rolls into the turn, and it rolls and then sets. The suspension kind of rolls and sets and then grips.
So what exhaust should I
It's
get?
not an on and off switch where it grips and then you start to get oversteer, understeer. This car doesn't do that. It just is one of the more neutral cars you can get into. A lot of people are going to be asking, well, what about it? How is it compared to this car, that car, blah, blah, blah. Well, of course, that comparison is always going to be made. You look at a car like the FRS and BRZ, which I think is pretty much the closest competitor here, even though it's not a convertible. This is a better car, front to back. I mean, you get in it, and you really don't have to do much. You're not sitting here thinking, well, I'm going to need to do tires. I'm going to need to do, suspension modifications. This thing is just set up so well that you can go and just take it to the track and autocross and even just get an alignment if you need more camber for aggressive driving. You can do that in this car without touching a thing. And I like that a lot, and that's one of the biggest
400.
strengths of the new MX-5. One of the things you typically don't hear from reviewers about cars, especially this car, is you don't hear the negatives. You don't hear them really slamming anything about it, and there is so much good here, but there's also things that are kind of annoying. And that is, there is cowl shake here. This frame is rigid for a convertible, but it still feels like a convertible. You don't feel that sense of rigidity on a car like you do on the FRS and BRZ, where you just feel solid all the time. This thing is, especially over the bumps, it transmits so much vibration and twist into the cabin, and it actually translates into a lot of that in terms of my cameras, which have really good image stabilization on them. So you'll see that a lot more in this video, and you can feel it for sure. Now, yes, it's a part of the driving experience, but it's something to note about having a convertible.
What does it say?
The other
Racing
thing you don't
beat?
have to worry about on the MX-5 is brakes. And that's because the car doesn't weigh anything. I mean, even with the standard brakes on this car, a good set of brake pads are going to do you fine. Now, this car has the Brembo option here, and honestly, this is probably going to get you through 95% of your track days. You'll probably have to swap some pads and some good fluid in, but again, that's nothing you're really going to have to worry about is the braking here. One of the best parts of the Miata and just driving this car in general is just this, the open top experience, being connected with your environment around you. And I said this about my last review in the MX-5, and it's just something that you can't really put into words until you drive this.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I really haven't gotten to. Have I ever been... I don't know. I drove an NA without the top down. Like 40 minutes. On the highway. And then yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, is that correct? Please don't be correct. It's probably correct. Dude, I'm so sore. Ooh, it might be even... No, okay, it's... Damn it. I have no one to blame for myself. But myself. Okay. This will be... the first... Japanese on this channel. Oh, God, man. Why do I do this to myself? I hate it. Fuck. I want to be this way. God, I love how much I can move this fucking mic arm. It's crazy. Can really move, you know? Really move her around. Oh, watch this. Gotta kick back. Is the mic in a good position still? Boom. Oh my god.
こする。
That's so
冷え
loud.
た手をこすって温めた。
食品は日曜日にまとめて買います。
Fuck. This means habit, but I don't know how to say it.
癖
Fuck.
爪を噛む癖は直した方がいい。食品は日曜日にまとめて買います。
Diminutive. Fuck. This means you're getting a little bit of feedback from my open back headphones. I don't really care. It's fine. Just move it over a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit.
下痢。古いお寿司を食べて下痢をしてしまったんだ。
This is a very important word.
受験。日本語能力試験を受験したんだ。
Oh shit. Oh.
親戚。祖父の家に親戚が集まったんだ。
食料はこの箱に入っています。
食料。
正座。彼はきちんと正座して待っていたね。
叫ぶ。彼女は助けを求めて大声で叫んだの。かぶる。帽子をかぶって外出した。
Whoa.
公平。賞金をもらったら公平に分けましょう。海峡。その海峡に橋が架けられました。
I really gotta set up a thing, man. Can I? No. Sync audio. That's all I can do.
海峡。
Oh my god.
地獄。地震の後、街は地獄のようだったよ。お嬢さん。彼はお嬢さんと一緒でした。
Huh? Huh?
決してこのことを決して忘れないでください。
しびれる。
しびれる。足がしびれた。シワ。スカートにシワが寄っているよ。出版。この本は15年前に出版された。
Water.
今度はどこに行きたいですか？
Oh, fuck, I know this one.
田舎。私は毎年夏に田舎に帰ります。
崖。大雨で崖が崩れたんだ。
済ます。宿題を済ませてから遊びなさい。高級。私たちは高級ホテルに泊まったの。考慮。あなたの事情を考慮して予定を立てました。
I really want to like order Taco Bell. I really shouldn't have just fucking bought a car. Need to fucking return all these laptops that I bought. What was it doing? Taco Bell. Grubbiest Hub. Grubbo Hub. Where am I saved? There it is. Oh, I have a car. I do have a car. My grandmother's car. Yeah, I forgot about that. And Taco Bell's like fucking right down the street, dude. There's no point in going in ordering from there, you know?
考慮。考慮。考慮。
Yeah, no matter what. I mean, if I just put the mic like this, you can't really hear my breathing. What do I just... Here, let's do a test. Like that. How does this sound? This is usually what I feel like most people have their stuff at. I mean, if I just put the mic like this, you can't really hear my breathing. What do I just... Here, let's do a test. Like that. How does this sound? This is usually what I feel like most people have their stuff at. Whatever, I'm crazy. It's also quiet. I'm in a loop. Help.
実際、彼は実際にはあまり背が高くない。
抑える。彼は怒りを抑えていたの。
You need to watch anime.
横断。道路を横断するときは注意して。
Oh, I gotta go to bed soon, dude. Because I have to fucking wake up at 5:45 tomorrow to go to work. Should be fun. That's a joke.
噂。その噂は本当ですか？
What the hell is this?
娯楽。テレビは彼の一番の娯楽です。
娯楽。
校舎、古い校舎の修理が必要です。
後輩。彼は
Yeah.
大学の後輩です。
後輩. See, what I just need to do is just talk louder. That's the real problem, right? Oh well.
嵐で庭の木が折れたよ。
ジャブジャブ。彼は顔をジャブジャブ洗ったの。ずる賢い。あいつはずる賢い顔をしているね。境。二つの市の境に川が流れているの。
基づく。この話は真実に基づいています。
で、真実。
好意。彼は彼女に好意を持っています。
I think when I get this miata, I should actually go see how long. Oh, that's not gonna work. Because my grandma is gonna know. I want to see how long I can go without them noticing. Just like not tell them. Because I'm kind of tired of telling people things, you know? Shiraku.
娯楽。
娯楽。
テレビは彼の一番の娯楽です。
癖、爪を噛む癖は直した方がいい。下痢、古いお寿司を食べて下痢をしてしまったんだ。敬う、両親を敬うことは大切です。
宗教。宗教を持たない人もたくさんいるわ。地味。今日彼女は地味な服装をしていますね。
Oh my god, I know this one. It's so annoying.
解釈。この詩を解釈してみましょう。
系列。高校卒業後、系列の大学に進みました。
I didn't even do any. 45 cards? Wow! I'm gonna go get Taco Bell.